Hi, this is Happy Bird from Happy Bird's Glitter Nest, and today I'm going to show you how to make these very well put together, easy, and super inexpensive little snowflake ornaments for your tree. So stay tuned and I'll show you how to do these. Now before we start, I'd like to invite you to check out a couple of my friends' YouTube channels. The first one is Craftie, and it's spelled C-R-A-F-T-I-E, and I'll have the link below in the description box. And also Karen Tolson's channel, Refunction Crafts. They both have some beautiful things on there, and I know that you would just really enjoy it. So check them out, and then take time to watch this video. Okay, so I'll be doing larger snowflakes and smaller snowflakes. So I'm using two different sizes of craft sticks. Now these craft sticks here are 4.5 inches long by 3/8 of an inch wide, and you'll need 4 sticks for each snowflake. And these are 2.5 inches long by 3/8 of an inch wide. So the next thing you're going to need, and it's really important, is you're going to need some multi-surface satin paint. Make sure it's multi-surface and make sure it's satin. And the reason for this is because when you're putting your sticks together after you paint them, for some reason the hot glue really adheres to the multi-surface satin paints. I've tried the metallic paints and it leaves kind of a slick surface, and although your snowflakes may look like they're glued together, they will start falling apart rather quickly because of that surface. So this particular one I'm using today is by Martha Stewart Crafts, and it's a multi-surface satin paint in peppermint bark. And this is by Folk Art, and it's also a multi-surface paint in titanium white, and you can see right here it says satin finish. Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick way to paint your sticks, and I really like using this method. First thing I do is I take a sponge from this bag of little cosmetic wedges that I bought at the Dollar Tree, and there's 28 to a bag. And what I like to do is I like to squirt a little bit here on my wax paper, and I like to dip it in there and then dab some off. Dip it again and then dab some off. Okay, and you're also going to need a toothpick. So let me get that. Okay, and what I do is this. I just sponge it on. See how I'm dabbing it on? It covers evenly and quickly. I'm going to put this toothpick right there while I pick up some more paint. And I'm just going to dab along here. Now these actually dry very quickly. For me, in the climate that I live in, these were dry enough to be able to turn them over and do the other side in 15 minutes. And then once you do that side, and you wait about 15 minutes, then you can pick it up and do the edges around here. Okay, just dab it on. Now, although your sticks will be painted and they'll feel really dry, I would still give it overnight because you want that paint cured onto that stick. So I would just do the painting of all of your sticks that you're going to want to use for your snowflakes, and then leave them overnight, and then decorate them and put them together the next day. So I won't make you sit here and watch me paint every single stick. I'll do that off camera. And when everything's dried, and I'll allow the sticks to sit overnight, then I'll show you how to put them together and how to decorate them. Okay, so all of my paint sticks have dried overnight, and I wanted to let you know too, if you paint them and you see that they're slightly bowed, don't worry about it, because generally when you turn them over and paint the back and then everything dries, they generally straighten out pretty well. If you have one or two that are slightly bowed, you can always coax it by just gently pressing on it like this. Now, don't press on it until you hear a crack or anything like that. But if you do that, generally everything straightens out. Now you're going to need two different sizes of adhesive rhinestones. You're going to need smaller ones between 5-6 millimeters, which are generally the Dollar Tree size right here. And there will be some slight bag rattling for those of you who are sensitive to it. And you're going to need some larger ones. And when I say larger, I mean 9 millimeter, 10 millimeter, 11 millimeter. And so what I did was I picked up a couple of these really pretty black back adhesive rhinestones from the 99-cent store just a couple of days ago. And they have kind of a pinkish AB tone to them. They almost look a little like antique rhinestones. And then I have this old one from Recollections, and that was in my stash. And then here's another larger one from Walmart. This is the 9 millimeter. They're holographic rhinestones. You can get a huge sheet of them for very inexpensive. And then I have some here in a 6 millimeter. So dig through your adhesive rhinestone stash and see what you can come up with. Alright, so to start, we're going to be gluing our pieces together to make the snowflake, and you need 4 sticks for each snowflake, and that will give you, of course, 8 points to your snowflake by the time you glue them together. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, you're going to pick up one of the popsicle sticks, and then you're going to kind of eyeball where the middle part is. Now, if you want to measure it, you can, but I just like to eyeball it. And I put it where I think the middle is, just like that. Okay, and so I'm going to place some hot glue here, and I'm going to place this right here. I'm just going to give it a few seconds to let it dry. Just like that, so it'll grab. And then I lay this down. Then I'm just going to come in and put a little more hot glue. And I do use the Gorilla Glue sticks. And I'm going to place one this way. I made a mistake. I got some hot glue on there. Try to get it off. Okay. And then, lastly, we will place one this direction. Okay. Now, you're going to let it sit for at least 5 minutes just so everything will grab. Okay, so let's do that and then we'll be back. Okay, so now I'm going to take these pretty little flat back rhinestones and I'm going to place them one on each one of the tips all the way around, and then also one in the center. So let me put a tiny bit of hot glue, even though this is sticky, right in the center there. Okay, and just a tiny bit on each one of the tips of the snowflake, like that. See, just going to set that just like that, all the way around. And this is a wonderful way to use up those rhinestones that you have in your stash, that you may have a few of, but not enough to actually make a project with. Okay. And we're almost done all the way around. You can find some really lovely rhinestones at the 99-cent store. I like to check them out each time I go. It's the first department I head for. The stationery section where all the little doodads are, coloring books. Okay. Place one right here. So we just have one more I need to get. They also had these in a real pretty blue, and it looked like mermaid scales, the blue did, because it had different blues and greens and whatnot in it, but I didn't pick up those. Okay, so this is what we have so far. So now we're going to take these smaller ones, and you can use 5 or 6 millimeter, and like I said, it's roughly the Dollar Tree size, the rhinestones. I think I'm just going to hold this first and just kind of get an idea of roughly how many I'll need. You want to slip it under here. Now these are really sticky, so I'm not going to put any type of hot glue on it. You can, if you feel better about it, to anchor it, you could put a little bit of hot glue on each end of the rhinestone, but I really don't think it needs it. Thinking I didn't need to go under quite that far, so let's like so. And you can use a popsicle stick to help press it down here on the edge, and you want to pinch it from both sides like this. So once you decide where you want it to sit, then you just press down on it like that. And so I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to count 6. 4, 5, 6, and do that all the way around. This just totally depends on the size you're using, rhinestones. So I'm going to press. I really like the white background because it makes everything pop. Okay, now I'll go ahead and put 6 more on. And then I'll finish up the rest on this particular snowflake off camera because I don't want to sit here and bore you. Okay. Now this one, I'm going to push these together. Like that. Make sure I have them where I want them. And then like this together. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest off camera and then we'll be back. Okay, so I finished this one and it really turned out lovely. And I made this one earlier, and this is pink rhinestones on pink with the 9mm holographic rhinestone from Walmart at the end. And the pink rhinestones, of course, are from the Dollar Tree. And then this is the one we worked on. And these really do look lovely on the tree. Now, I made this one yesterday. It was kind of my prototype. And I used pink on pink with the larger flatback rhinestones from the 99-cent store. It turned out okay. I'm going to do one more for you using the small white popsicle sticks, and then we're going to glue bales on the back of the snowflakes so we can hang them on the tree. So with a small one here, I think I'm going to use these little 6mm rhinestones, and then I'm going to use the Walmart 9mm holographic rhinestones for the very tips. Okay, so let me go ahead and glue these sticks together just like I showed you on this one, and then I'll be back and we'll put our rhinestones on. Okay, I'm starting out with the little 9mm holographic rhinestones from Walmart, and I'm just going to place one here right in the middle, just like that. And then, of course, one at the end of each of the tips. Just like that, all the way around. You know, these are really simple little ornaments, and sometimes the simplest of ornaments turn out the prettiest. And it's pretty cost effective too, especially if you get your rhinestones from the Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store. These would look beautiful, I think, with a white background with maybe red and green rhinestones. Wouldn't that look pretty? You don't have to stick to pink or blue or anything like that. And I need one more rhinestone. I must have miscounted. Oh no, I know what I did. I put one of the rhinestones in the middle. Okay. Alright. So right here. Okay. So now I'm going to use these little 6mm rhinestones, and I'm thinking maybe 3 for the smaller ones, maybe 3 on each little snowflake stem here. Yep. So I'm going to press this down. I'm going to squeeze this actually like this. You don't want to just press it down or it'll end up breaking the snowflake stems. Okay. These are really pretty. I love the color. I'm trying to slide it under there a little bit so this will fit. Just like so. And like I said, you can take a popsicle stick and Kind of press it down there if you can't reach it. Get them as straight as you can. And these are really sticky, which is nice. That's what you want. Okay. There you go. And we're just going to go all the way around, just like that. Now the bails that you're going to put on, these little glue-on bails, these are called medium glue-on bails. And you can find them on Amazon or eBay. Just type in the words glue on bails and make sure that you include the word glue on, because if you don't, not as many will pop up for you. That's one thing I learned. You can also find bails at Michael's, but I think they're cheaper online. And the ones at Michael's look a little different than these. They have just a completely flat base instead of a cupped base. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and kind of try to move this one over a little bit. I might not be able to. I might have to just take off the whole thing. There we go. Let's see. This one was a little tight. I think I'm pulling this off and on so many times that it's losing its stickiness. I don't want that to happen, so I think I'll just put a new one on. Try to get it back there as far as I can. Sometimes you got to work with it a little bit. Which is fine. Okay, well, not perfect, but that's good enough, I think, right there. And then one more. Okay. So I'm just going to continue going on around like so. I only have two more. And I can actually move this down a little. There. All right. And then on the last one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ah, look what I did. Okay. All right, and then squeeze this too. This took a little bit more time because of the mistakes, but I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to edit it out because it'll show you guys what to do as well. So this turned out very pretty. Okay, so for the bails, it's just super simple. You're just going to take a small amount of E6000, and did you know they have an odorless E6000 now? I haven't seen it on Amazon, but there is someone selling it on Etsy of all places, and it's $5.99. Just type in the word odorless E6000, and I'm putting a little dot of hot glue on that just so it'll hold in place, and just stick it on the back of one of the little stems, and it should grab because of the hot glue, and then that way, yeah. Now you're just going to leave it like this and allow it to dry. You might need to put it on something like this level so it doesn't tip forward like that, okay? But after it's totally dried, then you're just going to slide a little ribbon in there, and or a piece of narrow ribbon, and I think it would look really cute, and you have something to hang from the Christmas tree. So with that said, I'll go ahead and glue on the rest of the bales, and I'll be back. Okay, so here they are finished, and I think they turned out really nice. I put a little 1/4 inch organza ribbon in here, and this is the ribbon that they use to make necklaces with. I bought this from the Fire Mountain Gem website, and they just call it 1/4 inch organza ribbon. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the day, and God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.